And tomatoes. What's the deal on those things? I mean, you chop them up into slices, but what are they? Vegetables or fruit? And what does that make? Ketchup.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
All right, everybody, welcome back to another week of Muskies on Tap. I am one of your three hosts on here tonight, Gus, Manty. We got the other fellas on here, and we got a little chop sesh, a little Q&A, and I think Max might have a little story time too. Pretty pumped on that. Outside of just fishing, just kind of a cool little segment. But I will introduce them before we go any further. Up in that corner, we got none other than Brian Eckel. Brian, how you doing?
I'm doing great, doing great. Yeah, not a whole lot to report here. I'm actually making my way in a couple days' time, I guess when this pod drops that day on Thursday, out to Minneapolis to Max's neck of the woods. Got a big wedding this weekend. Should be a good time if we dodge the weather out there. So I'll see Gus. I don't know if I'll get to see Max at all, but should be a great time out there. So piling on the work these last few days and then hopefully enjoy a long weekend out on the old stomping grounds. So kind of excited to go back, I guess. At least to see
Hmm.
some friends. We'll see what the city's looking like. How you been, Max? I know you fished Minnesota opener this past weekend. Sounded like it was a banger for at least a little bit. What was your action level like out there?
Well, Brian, do you think you're going to be able to reacclimate yourself to the big city life, or what's your
No.
you sound a little apprehensive coming over here.
Oh, there's bits and pieces of it I like. I like some of the golf courses out there. I like the casino, and that's kind of where that ends. So we'll see where I start. I know,
Fishing?
hey, the wedding's at a golf course, so that's
Oh,
good. I'll
nice.
feel good there. But
Yeah, no, it's a bummer we couldn't have parlayed this trip into a little bit of a musky sand over here
yeah,
in Minnesota. But I know you got business to take care of over here. Should be a good time for you fellas. Yeah, no, it's summer's in full swing over here, man. It's been cooking. Looks like we got a little bit of a reprieve coming up this week. I don't know, Brian, we were talking about it before. I think Wednesday there's a tornado warning like
mm-hmm.
across both Wisconsin and Minnesota, just everywhere.
Massive storm.
So I think the bottom's gonna fall out after that, and I think we're gonna get a couple cool days in a row. So that'll be nice to kind of cool everything off. And yeah, it's been just hot and muggy and whatever. But no, Minnesota opener was a lot of fun. Definitely, I would say more of a difficult bite. Kind of been hearing a mixed bag, kind of depending on who you're talking to. It seemed like some people had some success, some people struggled. I would say I probably, fell into the latter camp there of struggling more than doing well, but had a lot of fun, and it was just nice to get back out chasing some Minnesota muskies. Checked in with some buddies who went up and fished Mille Lacs. Seemed like that was another total mixed bag. Some people were saying they were seeing them in the bays. Some people were saying they weren't seeing them in the bays.
Hmm.
Saw a lot of fish pictures, so it's always hard to exactly tell, how the bite was for sure. But I think it certainly was all over the board. And then here in the metro, was really good to see. I went out really really early Saturday morning, with shout out Tucker. We went out and
Shut up.
fished very hard, and I couldn't believe how many people were out fishing in the metro here. It was great to see, and yeah, I mean it was one of those days where not a breath of wind and super sunny, but it was just good to get back out and do the thing. So
See anything?
yeah, yeah, no, got to lay eyes on a couple, so it's always a win, I guess.
Mm,
Learning, always learning. So,
There you
but
go.
yeah, Gus, give us the lowdown on how things have been in the northwoods of Wisconsin. What you been up to?
Man, I don't even I don't even know where to start on this one. We didn't have much of an update last week. Shout out Luke. We had a great pod with him. Tons of knowledge in that one, great stories. But we kind of laid low on telling what was going on in the northwoods, and it's still warm here. We're getting some storms and stuff rolling through, and like Max said, there's kind of a a reprieve from the heat. We're gonna get a little bit of some colder weather, nights in the 40s up here. That's gonna kind of level out the water temps. We've never, I haven't seen. Still 75 is the hottest I ever saw in the last few weeks. I know there's some concern buzzing about water temps, but Vilas County
Already?
just no, we're good. We're plenty good. The mornings are like 70, 71, and the afternoons are like 74, 75.
Golly, back on the
It's
trailer you go.
Don't worry,
It's
man.
hot.
Don't worry. In
smallmouth
due
time again or
time.
something.
Yeah.
Due
Oh
time.
man. Yeah.
Good thing we open
Yeah.
up the season a month early. At least we got some time to fish for
Cripes.
them.
Oh, but
Good thing. Good thing.
no, this it's been like absolutely all over the board. I've gone to a couple lakes where it's like summer patterns, got some on rubber, ripping crankbaits hard and getting really hard follows on blades, not a ton of mowing on them personally. Right from typical spots like some main lake rock bars, some deep weed edges, the good green cabbage, like all the good stuff that you'd normally uh, think about when you think about muskies fishing in northern Wisconsin. And then you'll go to that lake like 2 to 4 days later, and all of a sudden there's a bug hatch, and the fish are just everywhere and not at once. Like it's just it's super random and hard to kind of keep up with some of these lakes, especially the small ones. They change really fast. But overall, like the bites have been pretty solid. Like we're getting some good fish in the net, and unfortunately lately some really big fish have been losing. I've been telling these guys, pretty much when it happens on this past week. I think it was uh losing three in the upper 40-inch class list in 4 days was pretty brutal.
Not fun.
All of which doing something different. One was on a Hunsey tail casting inside out on weed edges. One was trolling over a crib at like 4 miles per hour. That was loaded with crappies, and then the other one was casting a beaver in basically kind of like open water crib scenarios as well. And nipping fish, dude. I am currently on Thorn Brothers website, and I'm going to get a bunch of those owner hooks because I don't want to lose any of these damn fish. Those things have usually been really good for us, especially on crankbaits. I'll probably for sure use them on a lot of my trolling baits. But just losing those fish, that it just sucks. I mean, the one on the Hunsey tail ate way out in the cast and got all the way up to the boat, and every head shake I felt the blade still spinning, which is no bueno. That thing is definitely beak hooked. And then it went broadside, pulled hooks, and then that trolling fish was one of the hardest, if not the hardest fighting muskie I got to fight. I had like 13 feet back on the rod, and once the line zipped out and I got it out of the holder, I never got her under like 30 feet from the boat. And she was
Whoa.
just powerhousing. She's doing like redfish, tarpon, saltwater runs. It was, and she was hooked like right on the corner and in the back. It was a fresh bait, and all the teeth marks were in the back of the bait too. So another fish that just didn't quite commit to the whole thing. And then that beaver fish, that was a beaver that's never been chewed yet. And my next cast after losing that fish, the tail comes off, so it shredded the tail. And when you get a pull pause bait like that and they're just tail grabbing it is not great. So they're big smart fish, just not quite committing on the baits, but is what it is. Trying to keep the head high. Seeing some really nice fish. Another hilarious scenario that I've never seen before.
Oh yeah.
Out with clients, and we first 2 hours we weren't seeing much at all. And it kind of felt like something changed in the lake, but then I realized like we weren't quite into moon or a weather change yet. And then out of nowhere, like a 30-incher just comes and uh, tries to swipe at a mid deusa and just completely botches it. It was kind of like ripped when you should have paused scenario, or it just kind of like missed it. And then we're all looking out, the side of the boat we're casting, and then there's this huge commotion, and then also you just see this broadside of this fish swipe back and forth and like two, three times and just swoosh a ton of water, push a ton of water around, and you could see like almost this entire fish, and we're like talking another upper 40s class fish attacked, I think, that small muskie that was that just brought up on a
Jesus.
Medusa. So you can never throw too big of a bait, apparently, even in, the first or week and a half of June,
That's
which is
wild.
just hysterical. And then we fished that spot like four more times. We nicknamed it Jaws, and every time she was just side imaged in the mud on the backside, just belly to the bottom,
Chilling.
never would come to the boat. I'm like, I think
Dead.
she ate that. I think she ate that muskie and she's digesting it. She won't eat for another week.
Oh man. That's
And
great. When you texted me that, I kind of had a hard time understanding what you were trying to say. So I had to call you and you had to kind of walk me through it because I'm like,
It's it
what
was
what
hard
do
to
you mean by
explain because
this?
I've never seen it before, Like how do you we've seen a muskie like eat tiny pike
Pike,
that we've
yeah.
dropped in the water or like chase
30-incher
pike or
though.
chase bait, but like like a 30, 31-inch muskie like attacking that thing and just 5, 10 feet from the boat is insane.
Yeah, that's
Maybe we
Um,
wild.
need to give more love to pounders in Wisconsin.
mm-hmm. Hounders need
Ultra
loving
dogs.
too. Yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of the update in the Northwoods. I kind of gave the temp report there. The 7.5 grandma has been very solid. Glide baits here and there, I know for many others are still getting fish when it's like a little bit tough. Um, but bucktails like double eights I know have been pretty good. Um, Trying to think what else. I've been throwing more spinner baits a lot lately and just trying to get a bite going on that just because I know not a lot of people are throwing them and the fish are just getting squirrely and active for them, but yet to uh yet to get one to whack one since opening week. That was the last time we had the spinner baits actually chowed. I'm trying to think, mid deuces rocking the mid-size rubber has been solid. So yeah, that's kind of what I got in the old report of the Northwoods. I think other than that, just watch out for the bug hatch. It's happening. Mayflies are about, and proceed with that information as you will. There's going to be fish roaming. There's going to be fish on
Everywhere.
cribs. There's going to be fish following the pelagic crappies, perch, and then Cisco's if you're on that type of system. So we got that for the next
Few
probably
weeks.
2 to 4 weeks.
It's
Yeah,
it
give or
sucks to
take.
rush yourself through summer, but it's like, man, I feel like it's gonna take till July till the fishing ecosystem gets back into form.
Yeah, no, I mean that's why it's like what was that old saying? It's like the fish muskies don't bite until the 4th of July or whatever that was. It's like it's because they're on structure and you can find them again type of
Yeah.
Yeah.
deal.
Yeah.
Right.
They're on weed edges.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
they're there. They're holding in that type of stuff, but just not as many. Like, like that one that I lost in the beaver, that was like cast. It was within 2 minutes of fishing like open water type bait and cribs and structure and or not non-structure after seeing zero muskies, one side image just off the weeds in like 3.5 hours of fishing and only catching pike. That was kind of like the telltale sign. It's like I am in a pure muskie spot where in years past, like this is where muskies come from. I can't remember the last time I caught a pike here, and I caught like three pike. And I'm like, all right, this is not ideal. So that's kind of what told me to get on out of there, try something else. So
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Well, good to hear that at least you're hooking big fish. It'd be nice to see a couple pictures come through
No
the
shit,
waves. But
right?
yeah, no, I mean things will turn around as they always do, and yeah, I don't know. So what do you guys want to do? You guys want to dive into a little Q&A? Do you want to dive into a little musky reading? What are you thinking to start the pod off here?
Why don't you start us off with some reading? I'm curious if your reading skills have improved. Was your goal to read some books, read some literature?
Yeah.
So let's
Just
put it
Yeah.
read
on
a book,
display
I
here.
thought.
Put it on the
Yeah, no,
display under the bright lights.
we're flying through the reading. I mean, it's consider that goal crushed. Just want to get
Te,
that out
te,
there.
Oh,
te.
okay.
Ticked.
The
Um, so I kind of came up with this idea as I remembered this story from a book I was reading. Gus, you actually had a post online this week. I think some people might have misconstrued it that maybe you were in your feels a little bit. I think you were
Oh,
just kind of
sure.
talking to the greater
The
uh,
greater community of social media, I think. Little, little bit of like just a fed up with what we saw this winter. Like I felt like I was probably on it too much. You know, just being like for real here. Like the social media addiction is definitely a real thing. When you got nothing to do in the winter, you just start scrolling, doom scrolling, then you just see all this shit, and it's just insane what people say on Facebook that that they don't leave their house very often or they don't they don't even fish all
That's the
that often
problem. You
and
gotta
it's
get off Facebook.
I know, dude, but you got to be on Facebook. It's where we get
Yeah,
some bookings. It's where my guide service
yeah.
page is. The Mott page where we can throw up, posts and all that stuff. That's the double-edged sword of working with social media, basically.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I just want to throw it out there that I'm not, I did not
No.
make the post at all to bash somebody in specific at all. I might have come off that way. It was more so just fed up with the internet and people hating just to hate.
Yeah.
All I can think about is the old play a haters ball skit with Dave Chappelle. Hate, hate, hate.
So you're not
well,
retiring. That's good.
that's good, yeah. And this story speaks to that. So the one thing that I've always kind
Hmm.
of joked about, is people. And trust me, I'm somebody who definitely, you're not blind to it. The downside of social media is pretty real. But there's
Oh, yeah.
obviously a lot of great things about it. And I think some people, might say like social media has ruined fishing and, everybody's like so critical now and everything.
Mm,
Um, Let me just take you back to Lake St. Clair, Michigan in 1940.
mm.
1940. We got literature on that.
And I think
Nice.
what this
Dude, they
story,
had pens and paper in the
The
40s,
the
dude.
point of this
Jesus.
story is to show that people were always talking shit, especially when it came to muskies, and particularly when it came to big muskies.
Mm.
All
Nice.
right. So in 1940 in Lake St. Clair, Percy Haver. Gus, do you recognize the Percy Haver name at all by chance?
I don't know if I do. Should I?
Well, I think at the time he was kind of battling back and forth with might have been Louis Spray. For
Oh,
like the world
sure.
record muskie. And back then, so it was a big deal to hold the world record muskie, and you'd submit it into Field and Stream every year. I think it was like a
Hmm.
weight deal where you could tell what tackle you caught it on, and it was like that tackles world record or whatever. And I think there was like some
Oh,
fairly
line class? Like,
yeah, I'd have to
yeah.
go back and refresh my memory, but I'm pretty sure there was like actually some significant dollars attached to these like world
Oh,
records. Um,
I
so
see the
obviously,
incentive. Yeah. There's more than
yeah.
just like getting the name out there if you're a guide or a business or a location or something like that. Okay, proceed.
So so in 1940, Lake St. Clair, Percy Haver submitted an affidavit for at the time of his world record muskie, 56 pounds. Was one of five taken on this day for a total of 186 pounds of muskie. The whole
Mm.
catch were presented to the
Did they
Detroit
live?
Tigers. No, they did not. Presented to the Detroit Tigers after their game, June 21st, 1940. We'll send story of catch and pictures as soon as possible. Yours truly, Percy Haver. So they used to submit these affidavits, and by the way, I should say before I go any further, this is out of the Compendium of Musky Angling, by the Muskellunge historian himself, Larry Ramsell.
Can you show the book here?
Shout out.
Yes. So great read for anyone that's
Dang.
interested in
Volume
musky
one.
history.
How many
Volume one.
pages?
That's a big book for you there, Brian.
Like
Damn.
630, and there's a
What?
there's a second edition too, maybe even more.
I'll
Um,
take that off your hands when you're done. I'll just give it back in 2029 when I finish it.
Right, right on,
so
right on.
the one kind of crazy thing is obviously there's no Facebook at this time in 1940, and people could I guess protest these catches or like submit affidavits on behalf of like themselves saying that what they caught is not real and stuff
Hmm.
like that. So you could challenge world records back then at the time. So a letter was submitted to Field and Stream anonymously. Dear Mr. Holland, with further reference to muskies caught by Lewis Spray, I have heard quite a bit of unfavorable criticism of the Haver muskie catch. But the last word from Carl Kinnear would indicate that while it was caught on very heavy tackle and was not looked upon as a sporting proposition to Detroit, the newspaper was going to recognize the catch. And we are all quite anxious to know whether or not Field and Stream is going to officially accept either or both of these catches in your contest. As soon as you come to a decision, Mr. Holland, we would appreciate your advertising us as we are keenly interested in both of these catches. Would also appreciate it if you would let us know what the tackle is shown as being used on both of these catches. Yours very truly, unnamed. So,
Hmm.
I think there was some skepticism as to how he caught this fish, the tackle it was caught on, et cetera, et cetera. And so another letter was submitted to Field and Stream after that. Here is a tip for you. Don't let Mr. Haver of Detroit put another one over on you and all of the musky fishermen. He don't catch them. He buys them from the net fishermen on the Canadian side of Lake St. Clair. He
Dang.
also sells the lures and has a good income from cheap advertisement. Yours truly. I am no musky fisherman, but like to see them play fair. Another anonymous letter was sent in after this
Oh
catch
boy.
by Haver challenging it. Um, so yada yada yada. The guy from Field and Stream then, let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Reaches out to Percy Haver, essentially saying they've been getting a little bit nervous on some of these anonymous affidavits that have been submitted challenging his catch. So Mr. Haver obviously needs to talk some shit back, right? I mean, he's
Here we
getting
go.
challenged here.
Mhm.
And so he writes to, at the time, I believe the president of Field and Stream, Mr. Bob Bush. Dear sir, enclosed you will find a statement signed by several people who saw the muskie entered in contest. You can check with any of them if you so desire. I also received a letter from a doubting Thomas who did not have the guts enough to furnish his address. But you can rest assured that any of these stories are groundless, for I am too well known here on the lake to even think of trying anything that was not on the up and up. As soon as the boys get back from deer hunting, I will send you a couple of additional sworn statements of some fellows who were with me when the fish was on display at the Detroit News. But they did not see the weight and measurements taken, and there was no one near me on the lake, and at the time the fish was caught. The closest boat was probably a half mile away, and the boat livery man where I have had landed has gone to Florida for the winter. So I can't contact him until spring. I am closing a picture of the monster fish. Hope this will clear things up for you. Yours truly, Percy Haver.
Oh my
So
God.
essentially, he has submitted this muskie with nobody around, and he just is pretty much getting his boys
Yeah, he's like, I got
Getting his
seven
boys
guys
like they're gonna back me up.
telling me that I'm an honorable gentleman.
to.
And that's
um,
all they use to oh wow.
so so
Golly.
this is the boys now chiming in. So they were at deer hunting
Oh, here
camp.
we go.
Boys
we
at
have
deer hunting camp.
so we got seven guys, all Detroit natives, that all signed this affidavit. We, the undersigned, do hereby offer testimony that we saw the muskellunge caught by Percy Haver on June 28th, 1940, and that it is our opinion that the weight and measurements are correct as stated, being. Oh, so I must have misspoke earlier. saying being it was 62 and a half pounds in length of
Oh,
59 inches with a 32 and a half inch girth, and that the stomach of the fish was empty.
hmm?
Empty.
Yes.
Empty with a 32.5 inch girth?
Just a brick shit house, man.
Jesus.
So I think at this point in time, the muskie, I think at that point, I don't know if Field and Stream really heavily criticized these affidavits of people being like, "Hey man, we're good here," um, but the anonymous guy that was writing these hate letters on Percy Haver did not stop, and this is kind of a cherry on top, if you will. Dear friend, first of all, I do not have Percy Haver's muskie or muskies. I have fished with Haver 4 times and never saw him catch a fish. I never fished with a so-called expert who knew less about fishing. I had learned more about Haver from the Providence of Ontario Canada game warden, who had a personal confrontation with Haver. Unnamed told me to ask Haver how he liked unnamed. I have been out fishing in Lake St. Clair several times and watched anglers buy muskies from the commercial netters who were not allowed to keep muskies, but sold them out in the lake to anglers at $1 a piece. The netters were after fish legally netted, such as walleyes, carp, and other rough fish. I think thousands of fishermen knew the story, but libel laws, being what they are, hesitated to pursue it further. I question that this so-called 62-pounder went near that figure either, even if it were illegally caught. Unnamed game warden claims he stopped Haver's muskie methods. I was not personally a witness to Haver's acquisitions. He claims he caught 3,000 muskies. Leave the zeros off, and there is a remote possibility. Sincerely,
Jesus.
unnamed.
Oh, Lord.
So, I just found that absolutely hilarious that even
Yeah.
back then in the 1940s, people were just
Yeah.
talking mad shit when somebody either
Mad
caught or did
shit.
not catch a big fish. And how it was
Yeah.
done, the methods, everything. It's just too good.
It's just slower. It's the same, but slower for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what I
People
was
just still
saying.
hating on it.
I like how like two of the
But
people that totally denied it are just thinking like, how can this not be possible? And they both came to he's getting them from the netters on the North Shore.
yeah.
I just like geek out at the fact that some guys putting, ink to quill to paper and submitting these
Yeah.
letters,
Yeah.
just
Dear
hate writing,
sir.
Dear sir. And
Dear sir.
yeah,
Yeah.
so times have changed, on the way people hate on how people catch fish, but it ain't nothing new apparently.
No.
No. No. No, hearing even like the old time stories of like guides hating on each other back in the day. I mean, there's a whole lot of shit that went down prior to the Facebook coming out and everything like that. But
Yeah,
golly,
so
that's
shout out
hilarious.
Larry Ramsell for writing that. Recommend people to read it. It's pretty good. There's actually a handful of other stories. Maybe we can bring this as a segment at some point in time. But just want to say that that is a story out of the Compendium of Muskie Angling History, Volume 1, Muskellunge World.
Sweet.
Is
Story
How
time
many
with
volumes
Max.
are there?
I
Two,
have
three?
two, but I don't know if there might be a third as well.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. So there
Well,
you
there
have
you
it.
go.
Something to add to the reading list. Gus, do you want to kick us off with one of our Q&A submissions?
Hmm. Let's see here. I'm looking at them right now. I'll just start in top left. What I see first. From E Simpson 717. Do you hold on. Do you think muskie hunt in pairs or packs? I think a lot of times they do for sure. We have seen that um quite a bit. I don't know if you can say they exactly hunt in packs like say wolves do, where they
Yeah,
like
like
hunting
trap
together,
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
or
they're not like killer whales or something.
yeah, I was gonna say
Pushing it up
killer
on shore
whales.
and then
Yeah,
Oh, dude,
yeah,
those
using
videos
their
bum me out so much.
when
yeah,
they get
some
the
seals.
seals or penguins on the trapped icebergs and they're rocking it back and forth.
Yeah, they're just
Yeah,
toast.
Dude,
Just toast.
so
it's
toast.
awesome.
So much smarter. Yeah, they absolutely do. I mean, just like back to the story of the giant attacking the little one. I mean, that's
Yeah,
spot
but
on
were they
spot.
hunting together or was one being hunted by one other?
Oh, the latter for sure.
Chain of hunt.
Yes. Yeah, so maybe they don't hunt in pairs.
No, I guess not. I think the hunt in pairs or packs is I would have to say I probably disagree with, but they definitely hold on areas like heavily, like multiple fish pack up
Yeah.
together. The word pack might not be the perfect term for it, but
I
Do
don't
you
think
think
they're like
typically,
communicating with each other on how to.
no, like, yo, there's like
no.
four perch over here. Let's go fuck them up.
Yeah, no.
Do you think typically if they're paired up like in the same small weed bed, it's typically two smaller ones, or do you think even the big ones will? I feel like if you're a 30 inch, like you just saw, a 30-inch muskie is not going to stay too close to a 4 footer.
I mean, there's definitely such thing as like the nursery where there's
Yeah.
kind of like only small fish for sure, or like a lot of times of the year if you just only chuck it super shallow water, depending, there's times where just the megas slide up, but you'll more than likely just find like the small fish with the small pan fish, and you work out a little bit deeper, you find, the bigger packs of fish with the bigger fish.
Hmm.
Um, but no, I mean there's plenty of times where like a good spot is holding just every caliber of fish. Um, Honestly, one of the most common places I see that is out here on the Eagle River chain. There's every single spot we have seen or caught a very large fish, like, the mid 40s and up seen or whatever. They're from the same spot we've caught 23 inchers from.
Yeah.
Like they're just holding muskies because it's just those are the good weeds or those are the good spots type of deal.
Yeah, I definitely feel like muskies are more in the competing with each other for food, not working
Mm-hmm.
together for food.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I can honestly see pike hunting together more. Might be more likely.
You do kind of, remember those days ice fishing where it felt like the pike would kind of just like
Come
come
in,
into an
yeah.
area and you'd get like, five, six flags all in kind of a short amount of
They're just
time.
grooming
Oh
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
because they always kind of hover around and move. Like people got enough footage out there of underwater cameras or whatever, and the pike just like hover in, and then they like
Right.
stare at baits, and then they like go away, and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
all of a sudden out of nowhere, like 10 minutes later, they just shoot in at 100 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour, and just devour a 2 inch shiner.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, let's see here, what do we got for? From Cougar Baits LLC, shout out. What is your favorite summer fishing beer beverage of choice? We've maybe tackled this one in the past, but it always changes. What you're vibing on, what you've been liking to sip on. So, I mean, I'll start sipping on a bush apple right now. So
Wow.
that's top tier.
Mm.
Used to be a peach guy, if I don't recall.
I am, but
Uh,
where they at?
Just
Come on,
just
yeah.
discontinued.
Good. Those things were disgusting.
bro. Come on now.
Uh,
That's gonna get some flack.
I'm on my newer seltzer kick, Surfside or Sun Cruiser. That's something, you can
Oh
grab
man.
an 8 or 12 or bring in the boat.
Yeah.
Dude,
For
you're a
if we're
margarita guy.
if we're
You're a
stopping for
You are a
margarita.
lunch,
Marg guy.
yeah, I've this
A
summer been on a
huge
Marg
marg guy.
kick. Yeah,
Huge marg kick. You didn't
yeah.
stop talking about margaritas when we were on the boat at opener.
Yeah, well, that's because it was on my mind because they were at a wedding with free Mars. What was that, a couple weekends ago? But
Sure.
yeah, Mars are great in the summer. I don't know about winter. I haven't experimented, but
You
I
never
we'll
had a
didn't.
see.
margarita in the winter?
I'd probably not, honestly. Maybe at a Mexican joint every once in a while, but
Yeah, a
Yeah.
Mexican joint.
yeah,
Sure.
sure. How about you?
I don't know how to follow that up. Um,
It's tough to beat.
I've been gravitating towards the old Summit EPAs lately. Those are good solid beer. Had
Dude,
them
What's
since
what's
you
that? What's an EPA?
that beats
EPA?
me, man. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Did
The
you have
EPA is
a
what it
did you have a
is.
bad experience with wine that you're not telling us? Because you used to be sipping back wine on most pods, and now you've just gone ghost with the wine.
Just trying to clean it up.
Mm.
Just
Isn't
trying
wine
to clean
supposed
it
to be
up.
healthy?
No, well, I sure I don't know.
Relative
Maybe.
to beer, maybe? I don't know.
I mean, minimal consumption of it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just trying to.
It's still alcohol and sugar and
You probably one of them
um
sloppy wine drunks, eh?
No free sponsors, but I started wearing Whoop this last year,
Whoa.
and
okay, okay.
And that's that I feel like that's kind of really pushing me away from the weeknight beverages.
Because you don't sleep as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my score goes down, so it's like
Yeah, that makes sense.
Pavlov's dogs. Like I see the little green ring hit a high score, and I'm like, I want to do that again.
Yeah.
And
It's
yeah, I
kind of
noticed
interesting
that.
data.
Yeah, I noticed that when I'd have a couple glasses of wine on the pod and whatever beers and something else like late night during the weeknights, just not sleeping as good.
And I don't think that was like ever a mystery. Like I think we all knew
No,
that it doesn't help your sleep, but it is cool to
I
see
know.
it.
Yeah, when you gotta like stare at it
Yeah.
every morning, but I think it's probably a little bit of just mental too. I mean, I'm not saying I'm never gonna have a couple drinks during a pod or during a weeknight. I'm not gonna let it
Yeah.
stop me, but
Yeah.
No, no, no. Just
Not a
no,
nice up
shock
the wine.
collar.
yeah, I just think
Wine. I
we're.
got.
Go
Oh,
ahead,
sorry.
Gus.
I was just I looked it up because I couldn't remember the term, but wine gets me bad because it's because of the histamines. It makes me just have allergic break. I could just start sneezing like
Sulfites.
crazy. Yeah,
Oh
both of
Yeah,
wow.
those.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
yeah. No,
fermented drinks.
I think Brian, it's more of an overarching kick on 2026. Just trying to shed some lbs, clean it up a little bit. So
Damn, another
we can
goal. Here we go.
we can take out the unnecessary wine Monday through
Yeah.
Thursday. I think we're making a little bit of progress.
That's my method. Take it out during the week and you make up for it on the weekend.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
I'm trying. Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
No, I get
no,
you. I get you.
that's not what I'm trying to do.
I don't know if that's how it works, but
Yeah.
I feel you. I feel you. Let's see here. What do we got? Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I think I got two that I can lump together. Because we got Blake Bushman asking about some mid-July tactics right now, and then oh boy, I thought I saw another one that was close. Um, maybe not. Maybe I misspoke, but we'll just go July tactics a little bit.
Mid-July.
Let's do like
Heading
your
back to
favorite.
Lake X. Wow.
Head back
I
to Lake
mean,
X.
Yeah, he said heading back to Lake X for the first time since 2007. Pumped.
Oh, he's okay. Yeah, we'll keep it Lake X, but Blake, you obviously know what you entered in there. That is a weedy son of a gun that you are going to,
Mm.
and going there mid-July, that would be
Woo-wee.
peak weeds for sure. Might have to get a little
might be looking
sloppy with
around.
it.
Might be looking around the area, trailing the boat
Yeah,
to a lake or two.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't
Try to
know, dude.
find those
There's yeah.
deep weed edges. So that lake, I don't know it super well, but what I do know is that there's different kinds of weeds and just find the green cabbage amidst all the other junk out there. Green cabbage and don't be afraid to go pretty shallow. If you're able to find a shallow spot that's not choked out, um, they could be up there. It's kind of one of those lakes that's, got that flogy style type of fish, just full weed based and them them damn muskies will just hunker into there. So,
The people who have cracked the code out there, I mean, they know what they're doing. There's definitely big fish caught out of there every year, but I think you and I, Gus, were maybe out there in August one year and like see great looking weeds and like 10 feet plus,
yeah,
which looks very fishable and looks great, but we didn't see any. But I don't know. It's kind of a mystery
no,
lake, but
I've
it,
learned yeah.
go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say I've just learned a lot since trying to think back when we were there in August. There was
That was
times we
probably
did
3 years
not see.
ago.
Sure, people
Yeah.
are loving listening to this on a lake. They have
Yeah.
no idea what you're talking about.
Well,
Oh, it's fully weed
I was
based.
gonna lead Gus into general mid-July. What are you
Hmm.
hoping it gets to?
Hoping, I mean, that's just like ripping rubber on the deep weed edges, basically. Like if you know how to rip rubber through cabbage and weeds really well, if you're able to like tickle the weed tops, rip it through it, pop it up, ripping with the up rips, the side rips, and as soon as you get off the weeds, you kind of do a couple pulls down, kind of give it an extra pause or two, and then rip right back up at the boat. Like if you get dialed on your rubber game, you will catch muskies in July. Like that is the program. Next up is when we start burning blades a little bit, but not always burning. Staggers come into play a lot more. Trying to think what else. It's just an exciting time of year. Fast fishing. Water's warmer, fish are eating a lot more. But no, that particular lake, like I said, find those the deep cat. I mean, just like any, find those deep cabbage points. Try where the wind's really been blowing into, and then try where there's more of like a wind seam, and then try where it's fully out of the wind, and kind of make something of that. I always try to fish all those different scenarios because I don't always just only do good where the wind is pounding into. Like that's kind of the big thing everybody talks about, but not always the case. But Yeah, rip and rubber. I mean, the pretty much the program we run out here is I'll go, reg dog up to mag dog. Probably should be throwing pounders. Mid deuce, I usually don't go smaller than that, all the way up to huskies for sure, and then the ninja and monster tubes. I mean, you run those three, that trifecta. There's a ton more out there too. Of course, you got the Bam Bams. Those will play a role. Starting sometime in July for sure. Hopefully soon. Um, the rubber program just hasn't been consistent. And then there's what's the other? Um, oh, the Boss Shad Tridents was a new one that I got this year that I'm excited to try out. Haven't broke those out because those are a little heavier than Medusas, so I still kind of want the hang. But as soon as they want that up and down hop, that thing, yeah, I'm gonna be ripping that thing around for sure, for sure, for sure. Um,
Yeah, I'm pumped. That's too, like July is the best when those bite windows kind of start getting a little longer and a little more random. Right
yeah,
now it's still some of the quote unquote cooler water. Like obviously we're seeing pretty hot surface temps, but I still think, that water sub 10 feet is probably still on the
oh, it's
cooler
cold.
side. Like
Yeah,
right now it still just feels like bite windows are so tight. Like even when we were, I was texting with some people, like it was kind of crazy seeing some of the fish pictures come through and when people were catching it would be like I'd get a couple pictures or texts from people that were catching and it would be like all at the same time and it was people that like weren't even on the same lake. So
mm,
that was pretty nuts.
that's
But
wild.
yeah, July, I feel like it starts kind of getting a lot more. Like honestly, one of my favorite windows in July is like that, 3, 4, 5 p.m. when the wind's kind of ripping at its peak during the day, and you can get out on, like you were saying, some deeper structure and just go to work with a rubber
It's
band.
also for example, I run I'm like the secretary in our Monday Night Muskie League, so I see the time slots when people catch fish in our league. And I try to like take note if it was like moon related that night or weather related or like random. As soon as we start catching more and getting higher numbers in the midsummer, it's typically extremely random. Like it doesn't even, and another thing is like it doesn't even matter the moon phase, doesn't even matter the weather. That 4 to 5 p.m., that first hour of, I don't know if it's because people are fishing harder, but like there's always fish caught in that first hour of league. Even on like lowish number weeks, somebody catches one in the first hour. So,
Which is what, 4?
4 to 5 p.m., yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but I think even like last night, it was pretty random. Looking back at it, let's see, 647. I think they were definitely, oh no, it was random. So, yeah, the bite windows just start to get a lot longer. Let's see what else we got here. Um, we got one from Tanner Wallows 13. When you are musky fishing, would you rather hook a 40-inch pike or a 30-inch walleye?
Mm.
Boy, while I'm musky fishing, I'd be just about shaking off both at the boat, I swear to God. No, no, I
Yeah.
I
Uh,
don't fully mean that, but when you're specifically targeting muskies, just about anything else that bites that's not a muskie, you're just like, God, come on.
I will
But
say, I mean, 30-inch walleye is pretty much a shaker, maybe a quick grip and grin, just because I'm sure someone somewhere would appreciate it.
Jesus
But
Christ. I
really,
thought you were going way different with that answer.
no, really, the
yeah, me
40-inch
too.
pike is cool. I mean, if that's look, a lot of guys would be like, oh, 30-inch walleye is like the pinnacle of walleye fishing. That's like your 50-inch muskie.
Put your hands
But
down.
but a 40-inch pike, I mean, that means something to me.
I feel like you're talking at me right now, and I don't appreciate it.
Yeah. Uh, yeah,
Um,
40-inch pike.
Yeah, interesting take there. It definitely sounded like you were about to say walleye, and then you did a full 180 hate right on
Yeah.
that.
yeah, I
I
like how you're saying that you're getting the grip and grain for the kids or something. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
I've
Somebody would appreciate it. That's nuts.
That's crazy. I have not been able to personally see a 30-inch walleye before, but I've been
That would
around
be
for those like
insane.
upper. What's up?
That would be insane. 30-inch walleye would be
I
sick.
know.
Really,
That's
dude.
what I'm
Think like we've seen a
that's what
lot
I'm
of
getting at.
25-inch walleye. You want to add 5 inches? Oh, it
That's
doesn't change that much.
that's just like a muskie. Think about the difference between a 40 and a
No,
45.
it's way more mass. Fish is way taller, way thicker. You're adding
I
five
think
inches to a
Brian
pike
needs to see a big
essentially.
walleye. Brian needs to see a big walleye, apparently. I mean, it does not get me going, obviously, as much as a muskie. Otherwise, we wouldn't even have started this Muskies on Tap podcast. But
I will
I
say,
think a 30-inch walleye will freak me out a little bit more than. What are you gonna say? What what do you gotta say on
I was
Oh
gonna
yeah,
say
let him
this
say.
is coming coming from the guy that was freaking out when Max caught like a 10-pound bass
it?
that
So
we
wasn't
then
10
I mean
pounds.
that thing was freaking huge. Maybe eight,
There's
had to have been eight.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know the scale, but it was a freak. That was
Could
a
have put
freak
your head into
bass.
its mouth. And Max
Largemouth we're
literally was
talking, by
about
the
to
way.
shake that. Yeah, Max was about to shake it off. I'm like, dude, you need to get a picture of this.
Confirmed, not a bass guy after
No.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I would feel the walleye. It's like, cool, not gonna mount it, not gonna eat
Yeah.
it, so
I'm not
Hey,
hating.
you got anything else? You got an answer for that, Max, or is that's a hard one to
Yeah.
go
Pass.
after?
Keep them
Pass.
coming, guys. Keep them coming.
All right, all
Hold
right.
on, hold on. There's a good one there on the same tone, sort of, kind of.
Yeah,
Not
rip
really.
it. Come on now.
From former guest Aiden
Shout out.
Freshly. I think it's Freshly.
Freshly.
Biggest fish you've ever seen, and what do you think's the biggest that exists, and where? Oh God,
Um, I have the biggest I've seen not behind the lure was in Green Bay, like a 55. Um,
shallow
just
water, just sitting
swimming.
there.
Just swimming.
Yeah.
Second biggest was probably the one behind Max's bucktail when we were out at Cass Lake tournament last year, and we were fun fishing, not on Cass Lake, and you had that like 53,
Oh
54
man.
come flying in the first 10 minutes, just
That's right.
throwing a bucktail at
Checks
the weed
out.
edge.
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah,
blacked that whole week out of my brain.
no, I know, but I remember that like that was one of the largest fast moving fish I've ever seen behind a bait. Otherwise up here, um, sheesh. I think the longest was either the one I lost long ago on the sucker or the one that Dad ended up catching. So I've yet to see kind of that like 52, 53 that definitely exists here. 54 might be a little more mythical around here. But
Did I hear somebody catch a 52 and a half in northern Wisconsin on a worm and a hook?
Yeah, on a crawler.
yeah, Guide's Choice posted that, and I haven't talked to Fred yet to hear more about that story. But yeah, a hook and worm,
Can we
52
get
and a
That's
half, and
yeah.
Vilas.
I mean,
I
Come on,
mean,
I'm gonna start writing into Field and Stream like that one guy.
I
dude. I'm
think
gonna
I think we need
start
a little
writing into
something.
God's
Yeah,
choice.
anonymously, of course.
Caught it on an inch-long hot dog on a circle hook.
I'm gonna need to see some pictures of
Yeah.
that.
Pictures are not posted.
I'm
Probably
gonna
out
need to
there.
see a photo of that fish.
I mean, a crawler, dude, is it even moving on the hook? I mean, how does it had to have been like snagged or something on accident?
I just don't
Mu-
know how you land a 52 incher on that.
It might have been on a big rod. You don't know that. Now you're assuming things, Max.
Mm,
True, true, true.
we should be assuming.
All right,
Where do you
where's
think the
second?
biggest?
New scope and
Yes.
bait, hook and worm.
I think they do that for
Could have
walleyes.
been
They
live
just throw a
scope too.
worm on a
Yeah.
yeah, worm on a jig head, and you just chuck it out there and
Somebody like catfishing live scope musky style. Be
Yeah,
mm,
insane.
that's actually a good idea.
Don't get any idea. I was just gonna say, don't get any ideas, guys.
yeah, the brine's just like gears turning.
Hold on a second. Big old lead ball in front of it. All right, where do you
All right,
think the
guys.
biggest fish is?
Brian, what's the biggest fish you've seen? Oh Lord.
Now you're really going back into the old Rolodex of fish sightings.
Kind of funny how they were all from long ago.
Yeah. Well, yeah, any of the recent ones have just been PBs I've caught, but
Oh, sorry, my
Damn.
bad,
All
my
right.
bad, my
Yeah.
bad.
All right. Easy. Easy,
I don't
bud.
know. I mean, the one that like we always joke about was one I didn't even get to see the whole thing of, just the side of it, and it was, foot tall. So who knows what that would have been. I guess the one in Vermilion last year, anywhere from 48 to 51. Who knows? I'd like to think that was
Mm-hmm.
over 50. It was cool to see him play in the eight. Like you don't get that in Wisconsin, so
That fish
Mm-mm.
definitely was not under 50 inches.
you don't think so?
It was not
No,
under
I don't
50
think
inches.
so.
No.
This is an
No.
argument we always have though. I'm like, nah, it's a 45.
But you're always about 3 inches underselling what the fish
No,
is.
dude. It's always
Yes,
in
you are.
between what I say and what you say. That's how it always is. And I'm like, see,
Fine, but
told
it
you.
still doesn't mean that I'm wrong. You undersell fish.
Sure, you oversell. It's fine. Horse apiece. What about
Both
your
fun.
vermilion
Both fun.
fish? What about your vermilion fish? I think it was during the PMTT or pre-fishing when you saw like a mega whale of mega whales. Was that your biggest?
That's the
The one
longest one I've ever seen for sure.
Yeah.
And I hooked it. Yeah.
What do you think it was? Go ahead.
stories change all the time, dude.
I don't know, 57, maybe. No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
By now.
I don't know.
See, that's not a crazy thing to say for out there, though. That's just
If I
wild.
was being like hand to God and if you said, "Hey, you go back and you could take that fish and put in the boat and measure it," and
Mm,
you said $1 million on the line for you to get as close as you can to guessing that fish's length.
okay.
Hand to God, I would say my best guess would be between 52 and 53 because
Okay.
it was a super
Modest.
freak and I caught the 48 and 3/4, 49, whatever, the day before. And
Yeah.
that one was considerably longer.
Okay.
So it was not as big as the thick, but it was just like it's just Gus in the water turned sideways.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
white pail.
It's just Ghost broadside and
Big white belly.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a big white belly.
I
Yeah.
mean my like the video of that, like my reaction was about as genuine as it gets, right? I just was like I was legit
You just
speechless. I
start
mean,
spazzed. Yeah,
I
like what
spazzed.
the
Yeah.
fuck?
I just like I ran around the boat after I lost it because I was like, I just see that? Like
Did
that was strong.
you inch drop in the video?
That what?
No,
Inch
like
drop. Like were you like that was 55, that was 55.
I just think I said I don't know how. I think I said I don't know how big, and I said 50 at least. I don't know or something like that. I don't. I think I was
yeah,
like lost for
50
words.
plus. Like, like yeah,
Yeah.
because it was so big.
All right, all right. Real quick, name the lake the biggest fish currently alive lives.
The
Cranberry.
biggest fish, it's got to be in the
Cranberry. Just kidding.
cranberry. Oh, cranberry monster.
Yeah. I'll
Hmm.
say Laxtool just because I want to believe it.
I also wonder if like a lot of the big fish we saw when we were younger, like are we just tinier? Are we just smaller? Fish look bigger.
I did see a big one on Cranberry when I was like 5'5", 5'5" probably.
Dude, yeah, on
Oh
the Blue
yeah.
Fox.
Yeah, Blue Fox thing was just a magnet.
Dude, that was at least mid fours.
Yeah, 4 footer
It
probably.
was a big. That one was one of the bigger ones we
Yeah.
saw early on.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just freaking.
just built. Um, you say lack
This
soul.
is-
I
this
gotta say,
Black Soul.
honestly, soul or whatever, soul.
Why we do video pods now? Just for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, everybody, we're doing a video pod here.
Fish was like yay tall.
If you want to see how big these fish were.
Definitely tune into YouTube or Spotify.
Tall like a
I
boat.
think somewhere in the Great Lakes. I don't really know where, but just like it has to. The sheer
Superior.
mass of water and food and the Great Lakes
Mm.
strain. I feel like that will get your biggest fish.
Probably the right
Heaviest
answer.
for
You
sure,
think
honestly.
would you rather, let's say the answer is one or the other, Georgian Bay or St. Clair River. Which one are you betting?
St. Lawrence River, you
St.
mean?
Lawrence, sorry, St. Lawrence River.
Oh, probably the St. Lawrence because
Okay.
of I don't know, just everything about rivers and moving water. It just seems like it has much higher fertility
Growth.
and just growth of like fish because they just have to pound for pound, they just have to move and fight current and eat and just keep getting
Um,
bigger and bigger. I don't know.
can I
Yeah.
say
That's just
something?
my
Go ahead.
I don't know where the St. Lawrence River is.
come
What?
on, dog.
I don't know where the St. Lawrence River is.
Oh, it's
I
like
know
You
it's
know where
like
the
Canada,
New
it's
like
the
York
border,
State,
dude.
you know
Eastern
where like
Canada.
It's the border.
it's is it
Is
oh now
it?
probably speaking out of my ass, but isn't
It's
like the
from
confluence.
Quebec.
Well, like the Ottawa flows into it. I think the Niagara River flows. It's all like New
Yeah, yeah.
York, and
Niagara Falls.
it's like far eastern Ontario and Quebec, I think.
Like Montreal?
Yeah, like
Sure.
South Quebec.
Well, you guys are giving me a hard time and you don't even know where it
Dog, I
is.
know where I can pull up a map here. I'll zoom in on it in like a second, dude.
Google Maps
We'll
is
go to
not.
Yeah,
Oh,
go to
here we
Lake
go.
Montreal.
Ontario.
Montreal. Montreal.
Quebec City down to
Yes.
Montreal.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
connects to the damn ocean.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Ocean
Basically.
Run.
Yeah.
You get bull shark in there as bycatch. It's a great fishery.
Yeah, I'm probably like name dropping somebody's absolute sweet spot, but no, that is a
That's a
big,
giant
big
river.
system.
Yeah, it's big.
I mean, where do you even, whoa, how do you
You
even
got Kingston
start doing
area
that?
on Lake Ontario. Yeah, and then you got giants in the Ottawa River that flow. Okay, that confluence is at Montreal. Where else am I think? Oh, I'm thinking of in Buffalo, the Niagara River between
Yeah.
Erie and Ontario. Gotcha. I was a little off there. Yeah, there's all sorts of lakes, even like north of Toronto, up in that Georgian Bay area. Not that aren't Lake Nipissing, like that. That and the French River system is known for some absolute giants. But what's that other system over there that's um, pretty famous?
In Canada?
Yeah, it's in Canada. Um, I'm looking at it, but I think Google Maps is not giving me the name of the actual.
Hmm.
Ah.
On the east side, west side,
All right,
central?
boys. Remember we're live here. Let's go to the
Google
see
Maps
who
deep
has.
dive, but we
Oh,
don't share
whoa.
the screen.
All right, we got one from Austin Wiggerman. So he's asking early season, summer, fall, any relation to how these fish use the weeds, specific weed types, better or worse? I think it might have gotten cut off. I'm not sure if he has more to say on that. But maybe Max, give your your thoughts on say just like metro area on like the weeds and where you kind of maybe see them from early, like now, and then when you go out in like July, August, and then when you've gone out in September, October.
Okay, thanks for kind of rephrasing the question because I was still looking at the St. Lawrence River,
Sure, sure.
so I
Yep.
kind of missed it. So you're just saying where the fish stage in the weeds throughout different
Different
parts
Yeah,
of the
like
seasons,
season?
what's your
spring,
relate
summer,
like
fall.
the seasonality in the weeds? Like what are maybe the better weed types or where they come from the weeds? Um, whether you're seeing them in these types of weed clumps or they're coming from the inside edge or they're shooting straight up from the deep edge. I
I
mean,
mean, I'm no expert. I will say, as far as like here in the metro, at least from what we've seen, is like when that water temp does start to kick up and you start getting some of that like newer, super deep weed growth and like kind of the later parts of summer, like mid to like late summer. I think it's even like deep coontail, like that kind of
yeah,
grows like off of the traditional like weed line,
yep.
Um, some of these metro lakes, it can kick out to 22, 23 feet. And at that point, like some of those fish are actually using that stuff, and you're having to, get down there in their face and throwing some of these rubber baits with like heavy heads, stuff like that. Um, but like outside of that, like that's kind of a fun, specific, like new weed growth thing. But the other, like for earlier season and into later season, I mean, we've talked about this. Like it seems there's always, at times, whether it's during moon windows or sunrise, sunset, you can still get fish up in, some pretty gnarly stuff. Like if you find kind of that right, um, like fishable areas. I don't know
Oh
exactly
yeah,
like the actual weed types, more or less, especially for early and late season. But just like, with these super weedy based lakes, that aren't Cisco based waters and the fish are using the weeds all year, in the clear water, you could kind of go and drive stuff and tell like, okay, there's fishable stuff in this area. There's pockets here. Maybe there's areas where boats kind of come in and out and make cuts. All those things are
right.
kind of fun to see on those bodies of water, like early and late, as those fish kind of start, those cooler water later in the year, and those fish start to push up. And even, early this year, we've already seen it, some fish being a little shallower than you'd expect. So,
Hmm, that's
um,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, overall, like in a quick um talking about the weeds and the early to mid and then late season, I'd say just starting with fall. If I'm gonna get them out of the weeds, it's typically just the deep weed edges of the best cabbage that's still around. There's some die-offs that you have of certain types of weeds. We get some good bite. Milfoil is going to hold a lot of heat, so that's actually a good fall weed bed to be fishing. In the summer, there's some lakes that get some weeds that are kind of like God, what's the one that's in Iowa? It's like curly leaf pondweed or something like that, where it
yes,
grows up fast and early, but then dies off like
yes,
during the heat of the summer. And we don't really get that. At least I don't think, or I haven't seen it up here. But we get some grass, like this weird musky grass, wispy stuff, that grows like strong, heavy, every once in a while, and then it dies off by like midsummer. But that's a really good fish holder, like kind of that post open water bite into like mid late July bite. Can be super good. Um, Trying to think other I just explained like the July, the midsummer bite, and then early season it's definitely just the greenest, good thick cabbage beds that you can find. Or if I think I've described this on years past. Early season, like if you know a lake where it gets choked out in an area, it's pretty good to fish early in the season when it's not quite choked out and it's still really good cover for those fish. And then when the
that,
bugs happen and there's just fantastic weeds, the fish are basically just like, those are great weeds. Don't care. I'm gonna peace out from them for a little bit. So,
yeah. You said something there that I should have said earlier. And just with all that being said, like this year is actually something I'm trying to learn more of on some of these metro lakes is actually the weeds that muskies tend to hold in better. Like I'm actively trying to figure that out still. I mean, I have not been fishing around here for long enough to know all that, but it is interesting. Like we get really good weed growth here early on in the year because I think it's just naturally um, hotter
a little
here
warmer
than the
than
river.
rest of Minnesota. Yeah.
Right, right. But there still are some areas where like you can fish right now where in probably 2 to 3 weeks even are going to be like almost unfishable. So, those areas are definitely, I think, worth checking out a little bit. But yeah, I'm actively trying to figure that out here where these what weeds these muskies like to use better than others.
Here we go. Absolutely. From the Groot R28. He asks, "Do you have a tactic that actually?" Well, this actually was kind of answered not that long ago, unintentionally. Tactic that you generally switch to if you keep catching pike, depth change bait. It's typically like total spot change, depth change. Like if the I swear, like if the pike have just inhabited the weeds or that weed style or that depth of the weeds, like it's time to move on. Those muskies might be, way, way, way up shallow inside edge, or they're pushed off completely and kind of roaming a little bit, following the pelagic bait or cribs. Any deeper structure, cribs and rocks are the two big ones for sure. If you're not just aimlessly in the mud. Um, let's see if we got any others to wrap this up.
We had a double entry by one of our
Here we
boys,
go.
Lanky J. Uh,
Shout out.
you know what? I'll pick maybe the better one here. They kind of go hand in hand. Describe the worst fishing partner, attitude, music choice, etc. Um, eh, Pretty easy to describe, but I guess maybe if you name like a couple of things that someone you fish with could do that would really just piss you off.
Feel
Damn.
my zen,
I
Brian.
don't know the record rack.
Just
Um,
continuously wanting margaritas all day.
ah,
Talking
Where's
about
the
the
bar? Where's
nearest
the
bar.
bar?
bars. Man,
Ring any bells there, Frog?
trying to think of a pet peeve though.
Yeah, what's pet peeve of yours, Brian?
Pet peeve?
I mean, you really
Uh,
haven't musky fished with many people besides Gus and I, so
yeah, it's
whatever
really
you're gonna
just
I gotta
say
be
is gonna
careful
be
what I
looked at
say because I
first.
take I take a wide variety out in the lake, so
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on this one.
and Max
Wow.
would basically be calling out one of his Minnesota bros that takes him out.
I'm lucky. All the
Uh,
guys I fish with are awesome. So
Yeah, that's the
let's
right
say,
answer. Uh, I don't know if I have a pet peeve, man. That's tough. I
what do
mean,
I do that makes you
obviously,
upset?
what do you do?
What does Gus do that makes you upset? That's actually I'm more
I
curious.
do, yeah, I do a couple things for sure.
Yeah, definitely a
And
couple
I've
things, especially if I have a
here we go.
hunch. If I have a hunch. Here we
Mm-hmm.
Here we
go.
go.
Here we
Here we go.
go.
Yeah, yeah.
You lit the fuse.
No, dude.
Speak your mind.
Hey,
I
your
think,
hunches have gone it's gotten you your PB basically.
yeah,
Like,
I mean, every once in a while, like I pretty much let Gus go. But if we hit a lull or something and I start getting a hunch, or I want to try something totally different, and I don't feel like he's quite embracing the suggestion, or
sure,
maybe
yep.
just dipping his toes into the suggestion. I'm like, no, let's just do it.
Uh-huh.
Um, you know, that's where it
Hey,
is. That's like a backseat driver, right? I'm the backseat driver. I'm trying to tell him where to go.
Right. And Brian, hear me out here. When I give you those, when it kind of hits to heart when I give you these bait suggestions after being on the water for 100 days straight and I kind of know
Hmm.
the bite and then you throw that bait for like 5 casts and switch,
Look,
it hits a
we,
little too close.
we've had this discussion before. We had a guest on too. I forget who.
I'm over it because you're just that guy that
Well, no, we
switches
we we
to
discussed
find the
this for
next
the
bite.
winter. It's like you you buy a bait or like you see a bait that you want to catch a fish on and that you want to work, and that's a lot of the fun of it. It's probably one of our bait haul videos, but it's like I
Yeah.
feel like this bait could get eaten, and I really want to catch one on it or see one eat it, so I'm gonna throw it.
hmm
Um,
So your pet peeve is somebody who does not embrace your gut instincts,
yeah,
aka Gus.
yeah, I was gonna say somebody.
Just me.
All the guides I'm taking out.
Yeah.
Hey Gus,
Yeah.
Gus, you mind taking your headphones off for a second?
No, that's all right. Keep going. I can listen to this one.
Uh, just look
Oh man,
away.
yeah, headphones
Yeah,
off, please.
yeah.
Um, no, I think, yeah, I mean, I don't know. You definitely hear nightmare stories, right, of people like going to Canada with somebody maybe they don't know super well. They're
Yeah.
like doing a trip, maybe they like won a trip or fishing a tournament or something. You hear these kind of like nightmare stories of like how tournament partnerships break up because, there's just guys that are not on the same
Clashing.
page and
Yeah.
you see it like when fishing's tough, people get pissed.
Yeah.
And I think those things get exacerbated a little bit when maybe you're not on great terms with your fishing partner or what have you. So,
hmm I
yeah,
mean,
I
Max,
mean,
one of your pet peeves could have been me pushing us off the water when there was visible lightning above the head, and you said like I would have fished through this if it was me. So I'm
no,
sure that was a pet peeve.
I was just giving you a hard time.
A
Um,
little bit of rain never hurt nobody.
Meanwhile, just full lightning strikes right on the tree line.
Crackle. Fishing
uh,
line never hits the
uh,
water.
yeah, for real.
Um,
I think they're all pretty obvious, right? I mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. I think the
It,
one thing that I will say this, the one thing that does drive me nuts, is when like you don't hook a fish in a figure eight or you mess up a figure eight and like somebody in the boat kind of tells you like, oh dude, you should have
Mm,
hung it or whatever. And you're kind of like,
yeah, that is a good
"Uh,
one.
no shit, like,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
neat, yeah, I know I
Like,
screwed it up.
why'd your blade stop spinning the corner? It's like, yeah, I
It's
didn't
like,
fucking
yeah,
mean to do that,
I
dude.
tried to fuck it up, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Um, but that really hasn't happened. I just like you can sometimes you'll like watch a video and you can like
yeah,
hear somebody say like, oh, and I get like there's different levels to it too, right? Like if you're with
yeah.
somebody like Gus who's a guide, you know, having a client be like, hey, here's what you should have done here. But like if us three are fishing together, and I know Gus, you've bitten your tongue a couple times for sure, but like there's times where like I can tell it's just like you just want to say it, like you just want to be like, dude,
Yeah.
dude, you should have done this or
That I
whatever.
mean that's it's so easy to like again like backseat drive. Like if Max has a fish up in the eight and it just keeps following and following, like I'm gonna
Speed it up,
tell him to
speed it
do
up.
something. Yeah, like
Speed it up, slow it
depth
down.
pause it, put it in its face.
It's like, shut up. I'm trying to
Yeah.
get a D, dude.
Just
Do
Um,
something.
concentrating.
I will
Yeah.
say, like, I I will try my best never to do that when I'm with somebody, but it's like because I never want to be told that, but it's like after maybe a minute or two, if the fish doesn't eat or you screwed up, I will sometimes go to Gus and be like, all right, what could I have done there? You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
what I've waited for, like specifically for you, like to like ask me. I don't want to like say
You don't want
anything
to poke the
until
bear
you
too early.
you wanna
yeah,
if you want to know like from the different perspective of like what somebody else saw and like
yeah,
obviously when I'm guiding if it's new people like I'm just gonna go to them in a way saying like hey like solid try there but like let's try this next time or let's practice this because like doing the figure eights when you've never musky fish that's such a crazy concept to people. I mean, the rod tip's in the water. People are minds blown. Keeping the speed, keeping blades going. Like, believe it or not, bucktails to beginners are actually kind of some of the hardest to get going because we get so many fish in the figure eight up here that if, you know, somebody newer to the sport can't quite get that figure eight down, our fish are smart and see a lot of baits up here. If your first corner isn't near perfect, they'd have to be cracked out of their mind to keep coming back. Um, which I've seen that. It definitely happens. You get the right weather
Yeah.
scenario, you
yeah.
can do everything wrong and catch them in the figure eight, no problem. But there's some fish where like you got to do every little step perfect, smooth, keep their eyes on the bait only, and perfect hang. Yeah. So,
Gus, maybe to spin it to you, the best kind of client you could have outside of fishing skill. Are they bringing something on the boat, something to do with,
oh,
That was
sure.
part of his question, right? Like, what are some great? Because I would
yeah,
like to highlight maybe some
It's
good
vibes.
characteristics too.
like
Perfect
do you want
partner
them
for
like
a
overly
day.
chatty or
Um, I don't, that's kind of hard. Like I like it all. Like I've had anybody from, talks as less as I do sometimes to people asking me question after question after question. Um, honestly, it's I personally am a pretty quiet person, so like I'm pretty okay with silence, to be honest. Like I'm not generally a music in the boat guy. We typically aren't. But if somebody wants to ask me questions, like I love answering, I love just rambling, and honestly, the day kind of just starts flying by. I might start blacking out and forgetting which spot I'm gonna go to next if I'm answering a bunch of questions, but we'll try to stay on on topic and whatnot. But um yeah, I don't know what I'd like prefer, I guess. Because there's so many scenarios you can have like a chatty person on a really good day with high action. So there's just stuff, it's overstimulating, just stuff's happening at all times.
Gotta
Yeah,
focus.
And
We
then,
gotta
yeah,
focus.
and then, yeah, it's like, all right, come on, dude. Like, you gotta, kind of quit yapping. Like, that fish, they're flying in right now. Get ready. And then there's some where it's just like dead silence for a little while and then just explosion at the boat. Oh shit, fish on, fish
yeah.
on. So, those are fun too. It's all good fun.
What makes a good boat partner for you, Brian?
Just
Margaritas.
relax. A guy that likes to adventure, try new stuff. It's
Mm,
fun, getting in a guy's boat and going to the honey hole, going to where he hammers them, and basically feels like you're getting guided to him. But I think it's more fun to go adventure and learn it with whoever you're fishing with. Would be how I prefer.
I agree. That's fun too. Yeah, I
Nice.
actually have had shout out to these clients. I've taken some people to where they trust me going to a brand new lake where they actually asked, be like, hey, do you want to go explore a new lake? I'm like,
Hell
yeah, I
yeah.
got a couple on, I got like a couple 50, 70 on the list still get to. Yeah, let's go after them. And those are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Those are a fun one to like break down because then when we're driving around a little bit and then fishing these spots, like they're asking basically like why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? What are you placing the waypoints down for? What you mapping? And we learn it together. So that's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I
Um,
would say a big thing for me is somebody who's willing to kind of laugh off the bad too.
Yeah.
oh, right. Yeah. Yeah, I like somebody with just like good vibes overall where it's almost like obviously we're trying to catch the muskie, have a lot of fun, hold the picture or hold the fish for the picture and all that stuff, but like being able to not take it so seriously, like it's a tournament every day type of deal. Like we're out there having fun, just being out in the boat. So I like that answer. I agree.
What do you
Um,
think, boys?
I think we should put a bow in this. I think we made this pot out a little bit longer than I even anticipated. Honestly,
So
Q&As
all
kind
the
of do that.
Q&As,
They sneak up on you, and we didn't even give people a lot of time to send in these questions. And we apologize. We missed some more again this week. But we'll have them up here and there throughout the summer if we need like some quick hitters here. If we're busy or something like that.
We need some
But we're
call-ins.
always
You guys got to get
yeah,
back on the
we gotta
lines.
get the line, dude. Somebody's got to get
yeah.
some
I
call
think
in. I mean, nobody has a take on any of these NHL, NBA finals, nothing to get off
Oh,
their chest. It's
they've been
crazy.
so
it's
good.
crazy.
Don't be
It's
shy.
crazy.
You can call in anonymously.
Yeah.
Completely. Yeah.
Yeah. Anonymous calling's probably better.
Star
My
627 that
numbers,
shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna say my numbers everywhere.
That still work.
If you
I have no
have
idea.
like an iPhone, you just do the I don't know either. You just do a voice memo, and if you don't have my number, you just text me. You don't have you can just say from anonymous, and we'll put it up. So
Hmm.
send it in. Find my number on sugsfishing.com and occasionally on the Mott story of Facebook or Instagram if we are asking for some on the lines for the Mott line. What are you
You trying
doing?
to star 67 somebody right now?
Yeah.
Who are you
Yeah.
trying to call?
I was trying to dial Gus, and then it came up with I don't know some automated thing. I don't think I put the area code in.
Wow, they must
But
have buried that.
I feel like yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that's still a thing.
That was the that was the ticket back in high school. Prank
Yeah,
calling
it
your friends.
feels like
Oh yes.
MySpace era. Huh. Well, maybe don't star 67. Just write in and say you don't want your name said in the pod or something, I guess.
Safe space. Judgment-free zone. Let it fly.
Yeah, we don't judge at all. That's for sure. And then
Yeah.
we got US Open coming up 2 weeks at the big old Shinny. Hoping for some
Mm.
terrible conditions like Shinnecock's been known for in the past with balls bouncing like on hardwood floors and never stop rolling. Dry, and fast. So yeah, why don't you call in with your hot takes for winners at Shinnecock for the US Open?
I'd love to hear that. Yeah, I'd love a little tough course, a little, battle out there.
Hmm
A lot of combat golf or just good hits into tough lies. Like that's gonna get some, ruffle some feathers.
Yeah. We
But
don't we don't
that'll
get to play
that's
that a
this
lot.
weekend?
No, 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
I th
Gotcha. This Father's
or
Day weekend?
I think it is, yeah.
Like 19th? Like
Yeah,
18th, 19th, 20,
yep.
21st?
Yeah, because this is
Okay.
the Canadian Open and then the US Open. Yeah, f fast and like hard ground, fast greens golf is very challenging. We went through that drought here and I played and like the greens were like trampolines because it was so hard. And it makes it very difficult. So I expect that out there. Maybe like a 5 under winner would be cool. Um,
Nice.
early prediction for a winner, Max, Gus, Aaron Rye back to back.
Aaron Rye, I don't know if he's got it in him.
I would highly doubt it.
I highly doubt it there too. Mm,
Couple things here,
nah.
real quick. Cleanup items. Do you want to
Hold on,
wish?
dog. Hold on, real quick.
Oh, sorry, I just stopped listening. What do you got? What do you
Just
got?
cut us off, dude. Gus was about to throw in a winner.
All
I
right,
had
who's your winner,
nothing, dude.
Gus?
I had nothing.
Tommy Fleetwood. I'm gonna go Tommy. I
It's
thought that's
not
what you
for
were gonna
two
say.
more weeks, dude. We'll talk about the U.S. Open when
Well, this is
it's.
the early prediction pod. All right, go
It's
ahead. Go ahead.
it's not gonna be in the title. Max, what do you got? What do you got some closing? I
Put it
got
in
one
the
thing to
title.
close out too before, but
What are you
what do you
gonna
got?
close out with?
Yeah.
We got a MOT code for Next Gen Muskies. Forgot to say it last week, but if you want to join Next Gen Muskies, MOT10 MOT 10% off there. All right, Max, what
Gus,
do you got?
why should somebody join Next Gen Muskies?
Yeah.
Um, I think if they want to learn and learn fast and have a video format of it and learn from Doug,
How much
one of the
content is on there?
I don't even want to know. It's a lot. He posts a
Like,
video every week.
how long are those videos?
Some of them are as long as like 40 plus minutes
Woo!
or so. Just like
Hashtag
pure
content.
content.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not too long ago I was on his live. We did a lot of discussion on um taking musky notes. I did a couple seminars this winter. We kind of did a deep dive with Doug a couple weeks back on how I take notes, why I take notes, what I take notes on, why it helps me to kind of just help stay dialed because we have so many lakes up here. My goal as a guide here is not to not be a one-trick pony, but basically find the solid bites on solid lakes and bounce between the lakes and follow that bite. Once I'm on something good. So every year it changes. It's always something exciting too. There's always curveballs, but so far the musky notes have typically reigned true on just following dates and kind of moon phase patterns, weather patterns. So there's a
Hmm.
lot of good goodies in there. So that's
Um,
another reason too.
right on. I wanted to wish everybody luck that's fishing in the Metro Muskie tournament this weekend. I believe there is no more online registration, but if you're listening to this on Thursday and you're saying, "Whoa, there's a tournament this weekend in the Metro," I think you can go
Whoa.
register at Thornbros. So you can still go
Wow.
sign
Oh,
up
nice.
through June 12th. When is June 12th? That is Friday?
Friday.
That's
Friday.
Friday.
So you can sign up all the way through June 12th. So yeah, I got a swing into Thornbros. It looks like now to sign up. Bunch of good prizes for that one. While you're in the shop, what I would recommend doing is picking out a custom rod and buying that as
Won't be ready
well.
for the tournament, but
Will not be ready for
Hey,
the
they
tournament.
got some on the
Yeah,
shelf.
you can
Like
just get.
if you don't need your name etched in it like Max and Brian being all fancy like that, they got them right straight off the rack. You know, if they don't have the B stick or
get you one
Sticksy
off the
11.
rack.
6011.
60.
I think it's like $40 a guy, and there's a bunch of awesome prizes. I think the grand prize is like a full week
It's
stay
40
on
bucks a guy.
Crow Lake, Ontario,
What?
or Muskie Bay Resort,
It's a
Crow Lake,
hell of a
Ontario.
prize.
Dude.
Yeah, musky rod reel. Yeah, it's cool. I fished in it last year, had a blast. It was
Dude.
good to see. So yeah, best luck to everyone fishing that. I think
Mm.
fingers crossed this cooler weather should hopefully have those fish
S-
snapping pretty good. I think it's been so hot here that a little cooler weather might
Hell yeah.
get some muskies
I
going.
hope
So
so too up here. And that reminds me entirely, our local Muskie Zing chapter, the Headwaters chapter in Eagle River, is putting on the annual Spring Classic on the Eagle River chain that's been going on for a very long time. We have a bunch of close buddies fishing that. Best of luck to them. Shout out Mr. Watusik, Dan. He was the champ last year. I believe with his partner Phil Hahn, they're going to be trying to go back
shocker.
to back. We'll see if we can do that.
B2B.
So,
Not a bad bet to
yes.
make.
No.
Yeah, right. We will be up
Um,
against him. Oh, and big news, I guess. Max and I have signed up for the Eagle River PMTT.
whoa.
We are doing that just that event this year. And it's
Home
official.
water.
Officially sent in the dollar bills and we
Get
will
off my
be
lake.
I don't know what boat number we're gonna be, but it's gonna be up there since we're not a trail team no more. Sad, but
Yeah.
excited to do it.
Should
That'll
be
be
Super
fun.
sick.
excited.
Can't wait. Can't wait.
So we'll have more on that. That's not until the final weekend of June. We got a while.
Funny enough about that, actually, somebody I was fishing with this weekend said, "Well, yeah, now that you guys," I did say, "Well, we're doing the Eagle River PMTT," and they're like, "Well, yeah, I mean, you're like, you got to make up for like 6 podcasts now because you guys aren't doing the trail." And if you guys were wondering what we're doing to fill in those podcasts, you're looking at it right now. I mean,
Q&A, hopefully find a guest here and there.
Yeah.
yeah. No, we got an awesome one next week. So stay tuned for that. We got a little Canadian opener pod next week.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
that'll be the first
Yeah.
time we're ever dipping our toes into the Canadian opener stuff. So
Right.
tune in for that one.
Yes.
We got some beauties coming on for that. Some new guests, some first timers. So we're fired up.
Hey,
Absolutely. Hell yeah.
come
I'm
on
super
in.
pumped for that. Yeah, we're dipping our toes up there. You know, I know we're Wisconsin based here, but Muskies are all about. They're all
We
over the nation here.
we needed to spread the love a bit. I mean, we got a little Wisconsin centric there for about a month in end of April through
Oh,
May. So
brutal. Yeah, we apologize for that. So it was exciting to get some Minnesota guys on. I'll do Canada and Muskies on tap worldwide.
Yeah.
worldwide.
WWW.
What's
WW.
Or
that?
no, not the W. That's World Wide Web. Just
That's a
WW.
Dude, all right. I don't know if you guys have any other closing statements here, but Brian, you got to take us away before you
Hey,
say
Brian, for
something,
those all still
something
listening,
dumb.
you want to give a discount code to some merch now or what?
For our merch? Yeah. Soon. Stay tuned. Discount code coming soon. Probably not a discount code, but a new merch drop just around the corner. Hang on tight for that. Ladies and gentlemen, we got the Spurs bouncing back in game 3, a must win on the road in New York. I wonder if a home team will win a game this series. Eventually, someone will. We will find out. But, ladies and gentlemen, those tickets were going for $100,000 up to $1 million in New York at the Garden. The NBA is not going to let the series end in 4 or 5 games. This is going 6 games, maybe 7 all day long. It's a money
What about
maker. Hockey, someone's got
Canes
to
are
plug
up.
the update there. Canes
Canes are
up
up.
2-1.
No,
Canes are
no,
up
Vegas.
4-3. Oh, sorry.
Quick.
Vegas, Vegas up 2-1
Vegas
in
is
the
up
series.
2-1 in the series.
Canes are up 4-3 tonight. so far. 2 minutes left in the game.
4-3 tonight. Okay, you guys will know this when it comes out. Stay tuned for that series. Kind of a bun series, really. Conference finals are way better.
It's
That's
been
not
electric.
even
Canes are
remotely true.
absolute
The conference finals were
powerhouse.
terrible.
Anyways, a lot more star power. But hey, we can talk about that on another pod, guys. I'll see you, all of you Tonka
Where'd you
fishermen who
go?
are fishing in the city's tournament.
There you go.
This weekend, I will be out there in a party barge. I'm in a Tonka. I might grab a rod, though, and just try to mix it up with y'all. Maybe get in the tournament, fish from the party barge 20 deep. Everybody be safe out there, and keep your heads up when you drive it. Peace.